ahead, mic
just
check.
shaking. You just
Hopefully
couldn't
it's
believe it.
working. Hopefully I sound
I'm
good.
really concerned as we go forward. There's something wrong in America right now.
Oh, thanks for
Look, this doesn't
noticing.
make sense. I will tell you this, though, as President Trump and his right ear, the bullet went through his right ear. It's a fraction of an inch maybe away from killing him. As he was leaving and as they were carrying him out, the Secret Service, he put his hand up in the air like, I'm okay. Unfortunately, the people behind me, about 10 rows up in the stands, there were people up there yelling and screaming, and they were talking. They had blood on their shirts and stuff, and there was a man who was down there. The security team rushed over there. They took him out of the stands.
I think unfortunately a man got shot in the head, and then another lady got hit
Lester, there's something
in
wrong.
the hand
There's something wrong in
or
America
forearm
today. This is,
or leg or
we
something.
certainly today look like a third world
Two
country.
confirmed dead. One is a shooter, and the other one is unfortunately a spectator in the crowd.
Attempted assassination on a presumption. The candidate. We're going into our convention this week. Former President Trump, is going to come out as our candidate. What is wrong? What has happened in America? This is absolutely bizarre.
Do you think that
it's not that bizarre? The last 10 years has been nothing but divisive, toxic rhetoric on both sides. This is the least surprising thing that's probably happened this year. The only thing surprising about it is that it hasn't happened sooner. Obviously, Trump is both hated and loved, and his enemies really hate him more than I think than people love him.
And shooting up the
I reported that.
In other words, they hate him more than people
really don't
love
understand the
that the people love
in
him.
The world right now has succumbed to being a third world country.
And this is how you have something like this happen.
The level of discourse that takes place has got to stop. It has got to stop, and we've got to return to who we are. We are a great, great nation, and we say in all our prayers, under God, under God, under God. Well, I'm sure that right now, the people of faith, tomorrow on Sunday morning, please go to wherever it is that you worship, drop to your knees tonight and pray for America. Pray for President Trump, that he's going to be okay. We also have, as I said, one man was shot. This guy is just there celebrating a day at a farm showgrounds, and all of a sudden somebody takes...
They finally blurred out the guy's middle finger.
Shoot the president in the head. It's absolutely, it's off the charts. Third world country now. We have to start rallying around about who we are. When 1.5 million men in uniform and women in uniform have died to give us the right to practice the form of government we have, for us to be so casual and so callous about it? No. It's time for America to get back to being America.
And Congressman, you were there with your grandchildren.
Yeah, so I'm going to be
with the young children.
A little black-pilled about this. I don't think that the idealistic America of unity.
There anywhere from 4 years old.
And that guy's got blood
12
on.
Years old. Let's see, 3.
I don't think the idealistic.
My wife was there.
The idealist
grandchildren. One of my sons was
America is,
and you have to wonder.
That's been long gone. You know what America used to be is gone.
Why did somebody do that?
They shipped all of our manufacturing overseas. That happened in the 80s and 90s, and nothing's built here anymore.
We have got to go.
A consumerist nation that is divided politically doesn't have that much long left. It's in a slow decline. It'll take a really long time to actually collapse, but it is a slow collapse. And I think what people sense on a instinctual level, but not necessarily a glaring obvious fact, is that everybody senses that all the political elite and the corporate elite and the military industrial complex, and they've been
badly injured in this, Congressman.
stealing from the coffers while the ship is going down. And because if you're extremely wealthy and you game the system, you can live wherever you want in the world. You don't necessarily care what happens to this country. If you could go live, in the Swiss Alps, or you could live in, Italy or, Monaco, you don't really care what happens to this country. And I think that they are taking as much as they can before it actually sinks.
We don't have any additional update now. And then describing his experience with what he says was being shot through the skin of his right ear, saying that he knew immediately that it was a bullet. He felt
I am absolutely blown away by the reaction time of the Secret Service. It is very, very strange that the killer was able to get up to an elevated position and go unspotted by the sniper team of the Secret Service. I just don't understand how,
not just a personal crisis for him.
I'm pretty sure they're up there not just on their phones.
Of apparent political
I think that if you were on the Secret Service sniper team, that you'd be scanning the area for suspicious stuff, and a guy crawling on a roof with a rifle is probably a suspicious thing that,
with the convention where tens of thousands of people are expected to attend over the 4-day event. And what, if anything, they want to make of this moment politically? You know, the former president said in his Truth Social post that nothing is known yet about the shooter. He makes no comment about
I think
that.
they know.
His supporters, though, are using images like the ones we're seeing on the screen, including now both of his sons, pinning those images to their X accounts, the website formerly known as
Now they're
Twitter.
trying to say the bullet hit the glass in front of them, and the glass might have cut Trump.
The
Well,
Republican nominee in waiting, if you will, is
I don't think there is any
kind of
protective glass up,
seizing
right?
on this moment to elevate
I'm pretty sure it was
politically. And so
teleprompters
we
and
have the physical
open. It
update
was an
here from
open
the
air
former
venue with
president.
teleprompters.
Again,
I'm pretty sure
he
that was
claims
it.
He was shot through the upper part of his right ear. By all accounts, will be just fine.
That is
The
crazy
political
close. I mean, look,
reverberations, of course,
look at this right
entirely
here.
Unpredictable at this moment.
You're telling me that he's not
already,
going to win the
going on
presidency
behind
now?
the
He's
scenes, the
definitely
Trump
going to win now.
campaign, as we've reported
With these
earlier
type
in the
of
evening,
with this
putting
type
their
of
staffers on lockdown,
look at this,
telling,
man.
People not to talk to the press, not to talk at all, while they figure out the steps at a more senior level they want to take going forward. And Lester, I'll just add, as I mentioned earlier in our broadcast tonight, that concerns about the former president's safety on the campaign trail have always been on the front burner at the senior level of the Trump campaign. The mega rallies that he likes to hold with tens of thousands of people in open areas. Concerns about how to continue to conduct those safely in kind of a hot political environment, in an environment where he just might not be safe. There was much talk about those events, and even the smaller events where he likes to drop by at fast food restaurants or firehouses, the kind of unscheduled stops that presidential candidates like to make. At every single one of these stops that are discussed, there are serious high-level discussions about whether they can be conducted safely. It'll be borne out in the reporting to come what kind of conversations were had about this rally and how, if at all, Donald Trump will change his posture.
I don't think he's going to change anything. I think obviously his security will increase, right? I mean, they're not going to get more lax on the security. They're going to increase the security, but Trump is not going to change anything about what he's doing. I wouldn't be surprised if he still goes to the UFC fight tonight. I mean,
we did see Lester
that's just kind of who he is, right? I mean, he's not going to be easily deterred from being himself.
So many people from states that weren't relevant. You know, if you held an event in Iowa for 10,000 people and 6,000 of them drove over from Illinois, it wasn't helping you in the caucus. So I mean,
these images. I mean, the shooter is just giving him the presidency, basically.
When you're talking about 70, 80 million voters
Max.
across the country, but mostly focused on battleground states, it doesn't seem outside of reason that they might find smaller events that look just as good on television might be safer, easier, certainly cheaper going forward. But again, I think these are all conversations that are going to be had down the line with a president, as you note, who very much likes to have these events to talk
Maximus
about
Prime, everybody,
and to make that part of the
you watching?
idea of projecting strength.
You're on camera.
All right, Garrett Haake, thanks. We'll ask you to stand by as I bring in our senior Washington correspondent, Hallie Jackson. Hallie, we've been hearing from members of the Trump family tonight. In fact, Garrett mentioned some of them. Obviously, I guess they are the lone conduits. The campaign itself is being very quiet right now.
Yeah, they are, and they have taken on the position
it's a big sigh.
Sort of communicating to the American people as their father
a big
has
sigh,
now done
everybody.
in that Truth Social, that online post that Garrett just referenced, how their dad is doing. Donald Trump Jr. is saying that his father is in good spirits, that he has spoken with him. I have heard from somebody else who's spoken with the former president, very close with him, who describes him as very tough. And so we know that the former president was shot in the ear father based on, of course, that post. His daughter Ivanka Trump also releasing a post saying that she loves her father, condemning political violence as so many on either side of the aisle have done tonight now over the course of the last 3 hours or so. I was struck listening to your conversation there with Congressman Kelly Lester, who knows Butler very well. That's his hometown. He was raised there. The place where this rally was held, this is...
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It was
unfortunately,
Trump country. I mean, this is a